What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Vince Hunts podcast. This is the first episode of the new podcast. We did one episode a long time ago and never got it rolling, but we have finally started, and here we are. So I'm doing a solo episode tonight because my co-host ditched me for some coon hunting with another one of his buddies. So, first episode in the books, we're going to do it solo. Here we go. Today's opener of turkey season, and it was a fantastic day. I went out with one of my buddies. His name's Nick. He actually set me up completely with all my podcast gear. So, thank you, Nick. Without you, this would not be happening. I really appreciate it. But we went to one of his properties, and we're actually in this turkey tournament together. Me, Grant, and Nick are all on a team. So the way it works, from my understanding, it's been somewhat unclear on how it actually works, but from what I understand, we're going to give, like, the biggest bird gets scored, his beard, his spurs, and then we combine all three birds' weights together. And then there's bonus points for killing it with archery equipment, and there's bonus points if you have a youth hunter, which we don't, and then there's bonus points if you get it on film, which we will. So I went and filmed him. I took my bow just in case, but we got on 6 gobblers, I think. It was just a little tiny piece of property that was just loaded with turkeys. I think we saw 15 birds this morning, and 6 or 7 of them were gobblers, and they all were within 40 yards of us. It was crazy. But he's shooting them with a decap broadhead, a Magnus bullhead, and none of them came. The closest one, which was the biggest one, got to 30 yards, and he just wasn't comfortable with that shot. Plus, the turkey didn't really ever give us an opportunity. It was pretty much like walking in, facing us, and he would have never been able to get to full draw. So, and it was looking pretty committed to the decoys. So we just wanted to let it come in. But then he just kind of sidestepped by him. All the turkeys kind of freaked out a little bit. We're not sure if it was the Jake decoy that we had out. We're pretty sure that's what it was, because none of them really committed to it. They all came over, but none of them really liked it and didn't want to come in. So that was a bit of a bummer, but yeah, we had a good day. We saw a lot of birds. We went and drove around, checked a couple other properties, saw a couple more birds in the fields, and definitely have some really good options for winning this tournament, hopefully. So it's gonna be a fun tournament. I have a couple properties that I've been scouting that have some pretty big birds on them. I just have to find a time that I'm going to be able to get out and start hunting them. Nick is going to try to self-film tomorrow, I think. So if he gets it done, then I'm going to start hunting. If not, then I'll probably try as much as I can to get out with him and get one filmed for him. So yeah, we have to film it, put it on Facebook in the group. It's Michiana Monsters is putting it on. Really good group. If you're in I can't remember what all counties it is, but if you're in like northern Indiana and southern Michigan, then you'll be in the region that Michiana Monsters is in. So it's a really cool group. They put on a lot of cool stuff, a lot of giveaways. So if you're in that area, definitely check them out on Facebook. But man, it's a good time of the year. I am pumped up. I'm ready to get after some birds. And I actually have a property that I haven't been to. I've killed a bird on it the last 2 years, I think. So it's been good in the past, but I just have to get out there and check for birds. I've got a plan this year to get my 5-year-old son his first turkey, which will be somewhat interesting. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to be picking up a 410 here, hopefully in the next week or so. I'm not in much of a rush because I'm going to wait till birds show up in our field out back in the house. Usually mid to late May, they'll show up. So I'm just kind of waiting on that. I do want to get the gun in my hands, though, and get him shooting it so that he's all dialed in. Because if he can't do it himself, you know, I think a lot of dads are down there with their kids getting the gun towards the turkey, and I'm not going to do that. If he can't do it himself, he can't do it, and that's just the way hunting is sometimes. So, yeah, but I'm really excited about that. We went the other day, and I was going to pick up one. I actually called the store, and the guy was like, yeah, we have one. We were looking at a Rossi Tuffy Turkey Edition, and he's like, yeah, we have one. And he said, do you want me to set it back for you? And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. I can come pick it up in the next couple of days. So he said, great. He got my name, and I think it was 1 or 2 days later, I went in there, and I was like, hey, my name's Vince, and I need to pick up a gun that was set back for me. And the guy that I talked to on the phone wasn't there, but they were like, okay, we'll go check. And they couldn't find the gun, so they called the guy, and he's like, yeah, I set it down there. And turns out he sent me the wrong gun back, and they didn't even have the one. They never had the one that I was even calling about, so that was pretty frustrating. So, yeah, I called up my buddy Tanner, and he's got a Stevens 301. It's got the turkey choke in it and the pick rail on it, so I'm going to try to pick that up and put a red dot on it. I've got the Vortex Venom that I'm going to be putting on that. We'll get it dialed in with some Rogue number 10 TSS and hopefully get Rowan his first turkey. I've also got a buddy coming in, hopefully. Josh, if you're watching this, you better be pulling through, buddy. But we've been talking a little bit. Really cool dude. We met at Oklahoma Tac, and I would love for him to pull up and kill a turkey, but he was looking at plane tickets last night, so hopefully that can work out for us. But yeah, he'd be coming all the way from Arizona, and I'd love to put him on a bird. So hopefully he shows up. And then, yeah, we got to get Grant a bird. There might be like 1 or 2 other people that I'm going to try to get birds, but we'll see if they're up for it. So, yeah, I've just been driving around, looking at fields, getting permission on properties. I picked up a new property this year from one of my neighbors. Super cool guy. He's got his property completely set up. And I'm very excited about that. I might take the boys out there. So I'm one of those guys that's like, I don't want to shoot a turkey out of a tower blind. I don't even want to be in a blind. But he does have sweet tower blinds out there, and I would love to take my 2 boys with me to watch me shoot one. So that's kind of the only way I would get in one. And also that gets me a lot more turkey hunting time if I'm taking my kids with me and not leaving them at home. So I'm tempted to get in the tower blind and see what happens. See if we can call a bird into there with both my boys in there. It'd be crazy. They're 3 and 5. So at the age where it's hard to sit still, hard to be quiet, but I'd love to try it. Love to try to get a bird in with them in there. That's probably the property that both Grant and I will tag out on. I saw multiple birds over there. I think I heard 4 different ones gobble. Laid eyes on 2 longbeards and a couple jakes. I went in there the other morning, had a jake pitch down like 30 yards from me right on top of the hill. That was the day before opener. But yeah, he did it exactly like I expected him to. So that was really cool, just to confirm that we're in the right spot. And there was other birds gobbling in there and pitching down. So yeah, that'll be a great spot to be whenever we can find time. We might be able to get out tomorrow night for an evening hunt, but we'll just have to see. So it should be a good time. Turkey season is one of the best times of the year for me. I wouldn't put it over deer, but it's like really close second. Definitely my favorite animal besides deer to hunt. Grant's texting me right now. I can't believe he did this to me. He's like, yeah, let's do a podcast tonight. I said, okay, great. 9 o'clock, be here. He's like, oh, I'm actually going to go coon hunting. What a guy. Another thing that we've been working on recently is we just bought another 12 acres down in southern Illinois, which was a huge deal for me. We originally bought 53 back in July, and this 12, it's actually 13.6 acres. It really puts the piece together. It was like a square, but then it had like a sliver going off the west side of it, and it was just kind of weird with access and stuff. So putting this 13.6 on it really rounds it out and just makes it one big square. So access is easier. There's a river access now. We had permission to bow hunt it, but it just wasn't ours. So we went ahead and bought that from the landowner. He was nice enough to sell it to us. So we got that bought 2 weeks ago, 1 or 2 weeks ago. I still haven't been down there to look at it or anything. I need to get down there and put some posted signs and, paint up the property, make sure people know it's ours. I had a trail camera stolen off of our property in November. A guy was out there trespassing, and he was hunting. I think he was hunting with a rifle, but it was so funny because I was checking my trail cameras one morning and just opened up the app, and there he was looking at the trail camera in his house, and it's a cell camera. And so I just went straight to maps. Tacticam has this cool feature where, it's got a tracker on it so that you don't lose them when you put them up in the woods, and I think also for theft. So yeah, I was able to scroll right to his house, right where he was at. I called the DNR officer in that area, and he was there within 2 hours. Gave the guy a fine, got my camera back. The guys and I had a really, really big laugh at that. It was pretty funny, just opening it up, seeing him, and being able to bust him super fast. So that was a good time. But I'm definitely going to have neighbor issues on that property. It's a bit of a rough town. There's some cool people down there for sure. But yeah, it's there's definitely going to be some trespassing issues, I think, in the future. I've got really good neighbors, like landowner neighbors. They're really cool. One of them has pulled me out with his tractor, and another guy actually just bought. I haven't got to meet him yet, but Yeah, the place is coming together down there. I really need to get down there. I haven't been down there since November 5th, I think, and now it's April 19th. So I'm really excited to get back down there. I hear a storm went through there, so we're gonna have some cleanup to do on that, and then we might rent some equipment later in the year, probably August, and try to get some food plots in. I'm definitely gonna hunt it for sure this year, maybe another year. I'll probably own it for 2 years. If I think 3 years, I can have it pretty well. I think we'll be able to start killing deer off of it in about 3 years. I had high hopes for logging it and getting all that stuff cleared out and getting new growth in. But I had talked with a forester, and he didn't seem too optimistic about it. So I'm not sure where I'm at with that right now. That was the big plan for this year, and that kind of fell through. So I don't know how it's going to work out, but we will just have to see. I need to get down there and really look at what I have in value of trees as far as size and types of trees, kinds of trees. I don't know, get a count on my oak trees and all the stuff that would be worth money, and go through and maybe cut some, hinge cut some. I'd love to get it all logged out and then go through and hinge cut the little stuff that they don't want, because it really needs to get thickened up in there. Like, you can walk through the property, it's really a dark to dark property. Like, you want to walk in the morning in the dark, and you want to walk out in the dark, because if you're not walking in the dark, the deer can see right through the property, so you can spook a deer at 200 yards away. It's just not ideal. So we need to get it brushed up. We need to get that undergrowth coming in, and we need to get more food on it. There's not a ton of food. Now, the neighbors have some pretty good food plots, but I mean, last year it was like everybody's food plots got torched. So I don't know how this year will be. Hopefully we get more rain than we got last year, but we'll just have to see. I was able to kill a really nice buck. Man, I think it was November 5th. It was the last night I was there, and it was getting dark. It was getting last light. The buck came in front of me, and I was trying to film that. It was a shooter. I was going to shoot it, but it came in front of me and then kind of worked away from me. So I wasn't able to shoot him, but I was grunting at him, trying to get him to come back. And then all of a sudden I heard something behind me, and I look, and there's another shooter coming at me. And so he comes right in to like 18 yards. And that was the first deer I shot with a Sever. And I think it was just a Sever 1.5. I hit him perfect, but the arrow did not blow through. It like went through and stuck on the fletchings. Like, it broke off. It didn't just blow into the ground. So that was a little bit concerning. But then I ended up buying the 2.0s, and those I shot 5 does with those in Oklahoma in late season, and those were just destroyers. Like, those are the best broadheads I've shot as far as blood trailing. And probably flying too. Like, they fly just like field points. You can put a screw in them. You can shoot the actual broadhead that you're going to shoot a deer with. You can shoot that into a target. I don't I just pick one out to use as a practice point, because I feel like they get dull even with the screw in there. Like, they come out of the ferrule like just a little bit and get sort of dull. So I usually just use one to practice with, and then I put a new one on to shoot something with. But it's really a really cool feature where you can shoot the actual broadhead. It's not like a practice tip, where sometimes practice tips don't fly the same. But that buck that I killed in Illinois was 130-inch 8-point. Really cool first buck off that property. That was the first season that I owned it. So it was really cool to get that first buck down. Yeah, that property is very special. I'm really excited to get back. I missed the landowner deadline for turkeys down there, so that was a bit of a bummer. I was looking forward to hunting that and getting in some time this spring on it, but it ended up working out where I don't really have time to get down there, so it's fine that I didn't get a tag, but it would have been cool to go down there and kill a turkey for sure. But we'll just have to wait for next year. I think I'm going to get... Well, yeah, we're headed to Canada May 2nd for our annual turkey killing trip. Last year we killed 4 birds in 2 days, I think. They got a lot of birds up there. I'm going to go up there with my buddy Austin, and we are going to just kill some birds. It'll be my nephew's first year turkey hunting, I think. And, yeah, we'll all 3 be out there. I haven't decided if I'm going to take a shotgun or not, but I might just take the bow, make it a little more challenging. And Austin is also, really set on killing one with a bow, so we'll have to see how it goes. I don't know if I've got the courage to only take my bow and not have a backup, but we will see. It could happen where, they got good cedar trees out there and stuff we can build blinds in, so it could be cool. Could be a challenge just to see if we can kill that many birds with bows. It'd be really cool, but we'll have to see. So that is going to wrap up this episode. We will get Grant on here soon to talk about his winter. He's had a crazy winter. He pretty much spent it all in Kansas, doing some pretty cool stuff out there on their properties, and I think it'll be a pretty interesting episode to get him on here, and we'll also have some other guests on here. But yeah, we got podcasts rolling out now, so this is episode 1. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Yeah, like I said, this podcast would not be possible without Nick for all the podcast equipment, and also another sponsor is Someplace to Shoot. Adam down there in White Pigeon will hook you up anything archery related. He's the top bow tech in our area, and I trust him with my bow, which says a lot. So, if you need anything archery related, head down to Someplace to Shoot in White Pigeon, and he'll hook you up. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.